talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Are you clean, crisp? Are you feeling good today? Thought I was gonna say irie, right? Yeah. Are you feeling irie? Let's talk. Evening collections end. We could say they can't do it, but they did it. And it's going to affect truck drivers, clerks, mail handlers, and everybody else. We spoke about this about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. And here we go. February 28th, this article came out. Evening collections end in Oregon and Washington. There's more. There are other places. So just let me read the article before you guys switch off. Whew. Last week, the Postal Service stopped collecting mail and packages at the end of the day at 170 post offices in Oregon and 30 in southern Washington. The initiative is called Local Transportation Optimization, meaning optimizing the trucks, utilizing the trucks for their full worth. About 9 months ago, I was talking with my son sitting right here, and we were talking about the trucks not being full. I think you guys remember that. Some of you guys are new, but go back and look. My 8-year-old, he was here. We were talking about optimization of the trucks. And just a few weeks ago, I was just talking to you guys about them not giving mail at the end of the day. So there was nothing for me to scan, but this is what they call it. AKA optimized collections. Without the traditional end of the day collection and transport to the processing center, the mail sits overnight at the post office, waiting to be picked up the next morning, and when the day's mail is dropped off for carrier delivery and the P.O. box distribution, which means no evening collection. They only pick it up in the morning, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, when the trucks bring the station the mail. A presentation about LTO was shared recently with employees at the impacted offices in Oregon and Washington. The presentation says as of mid-February, 717 post offices have been optimized nationwide. The LTO initiative was implemented first in Virginia in October, then Wisconsin, parts of Michigan in January. During February, evening collections ended at Portland, Phoenix, Atlanta, Santa Clarita regions, Alabama, Burlington, Montgomery. Will be optimized in March, and Seattle region in August. The implementation schedule is here. This is on Save the Post Office. So you can go to Save the Post Office. If you click where it says here, it will tell you the places that are going to be losing evening collections. This affects a lot of people because there are some clerks that are just there specifically to do the closeouts at the end of the night to give the truck drivers the mail. What happens to that job? I tried to tell y'all. Over the next 7 months, the initiative will be implemented at post offices served by 180 processing centers. By September, something to the order of 12,000 to 14,000 of the country's 31,000 post offices will not get an evening collection. That's almost half. 14,000 out of 31. That's almost half of the country will not be getting evening collections. Half of the country won't get evening collections. How many jobs will have to change because of that? I told y'all before of the impact. I broke it down on how the whole thing works, maybe 2 weeks ago, and then this pops up. This is real. Optimization in Oregon and Washington. According to the presentation, the initiative will target any site over 50 miles from an LPC to capture its biggest opportunities. In other words, any post office more than 50 miles from a local processing center is subject to optimization. Along with the presentation, the Postal Service has shared a list of 200 post offices in Oregon and Washington where the LTO initiative was implemented on February 24th. This was about a week ago. The list is here. Our modified list with additional data is on Google Docs here. The presentation also includes a map of impacted offices, but it's not very useful, so here is a Google Map version. Man, they got everything on here. The map shows 200 impacted offices color-coded by LPC service areas for Portland, Eugene, Medford. The map also shows four other transfer hubs in Oregon, Salem, blah, blah, blah. Nationwide, the LTO initiative will add a day to delivery time for billions of pieces of mail. That includes first class, express, priority, and ground packages. Nearly all this mail is sent by individuals and small business rather than large business mailers, and much of it has time sensitive. Some of it is time critical, like election ballots. Oh boy. Now they're going into threats of election mail. You can read that. I don't get to politics in here. Oh man, here's a nice, okay. Notifying customers or not. When it comes to things like election mail, it would seem imperative for the Postal Service to keep customers well informed. But the LTO initiative, the Postal Service is doing the opposite. The LTO presentation includes a brief customer communication statement, but the Postal Service has told the Postal Regulatory Commission that this notice to customers was intended to be used as a means of responding to customer inquiries at a retail facility or customer call center. It's basically a script. Then it talks about the risk factors. Then it talks about space constraints. To leave mail overnight for collections the next morning, the bags and containers need to be clearly identified. The office is often closed when the drivers arrive. The presentation provides detailed directions for employees and how the mail is to be handled. So they have a standing area for the pickup and a standing area for the drop off. Drop stuff off here, pick stuff up there. I get it. Express mail. It talks about express mail, package visibility, peak season and holiday dispatches, registry mail, collection boxes, carrier start times. The presentation doesn't get into risk, but the LTO initiative will change the route schedule in another significant way. In some cases, the truck delivering the day's mail and picking up yesterday's mail will arrive later in the morning and under a current schedule. Carriers will thus start on their routes later in the morning and end up delivering into the dark. That may cause some carriers to take early retirement or quit. It will also add to the retention problem. This is a long article, but it's not if they're doing it, it's that they are doing it. Now what? Now what? My thing is just to simply pass on the information to you. Now what? How do we work this out? We can't work it out because it's happening. We have to adapt. I told y'all when this stuff started happening, I was going to ride the wheels till the bitch fell off, right? Let's keep riding these wheels. But for those that may be impacted as far as the evening collections are concerned, the truck drivers, the people at the plants that they're going to, think about the impact. I know that at my facility, we have about, 20, 30 stations that come, more than that actually, that come from outer areas outside of the 50-mile radius. So that's 50 full stations that won't be coming in the evening. What happens to the people that are on the dock waiting for that? We'll have, half of what it is, but the other half, do they need all the people that are sitting there waiting for the mail to come in the evening? It cuts back on the need for mail handlers. This is what's happening. I mean, I can't break it down any more than that because they're not going to keep, let's say they have 40 mail handlers that work the dock and they're collecting 50 stations. Now they're only collecting 25. Do you still think that they need all of those mail handlers? It doesn't make sense. What happens to them? Anyway, let's talk about it. Let's be respectful about it. Don't get mad at me because the article's there for you to read. Save the post office. It was just posted. And y'all can complain about it if you want. That's what this forum's for. But let's talk.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.